There's times that you have to work on the steel guitars just like your car. Raise the hood, check out the engine, check out the wiring, and do it. Right now what I'm trying to do is replace the blending pot, which I ordered, I just got today. And it's a pot. It's just like the volume and the tone control. It's a blending pot right here that gets in here and blends these two pickups together. So anyway, I'm going to raise the hood and see what's going on in there, which I hope's not a whole heck of a lot of bad stuff. This is what the engine looks like, at least in one side and one of the necks. This is the blending pot that I just replaced with a new pot, and I also was able to find an outlet of Fender original parts. So this is made specifically for the Fender guitar. Now this is the volume pot here, and this is the tone pot. What is the problem is this wire runs across these two pickups here, and it's got to run down a little slot here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this slot a little bit bigger, because I'm just not good at trying to get the wires into the slots when they're already covered. So what I'm going to do is do some major surgery. Got my major surgery tool here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out a little bit deeper here, and hopefully when I cut this slot out right here, it gives me a little bit more area to work with, and I don't end up cutting my guitar up. And if I do, I'll sell it cheap. So anybody looking for a Fender Stringmaster D8, might be able to buy it cheap when I get through with it. Okay, to put the new pots in, I had to dig out more of the wood in the slots so that it would fit down snug. Because if it doesn't fit down snug, it's not going to work. This here is the blending pot, the pot that I just replaced with a new pot. Of course, these were replaced too. These are volume, tone. This is called a slide switch here, and this of course is the blending pot cover, or you could call the bridge. This is the bridge here of a guitar. It's well adjusted, and the adjustments for that, the bridge to level out, is these spring loaded things here. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting the electronics cover back on. It's a beautiful chrome piece here, and I don't want to tighten the screws too tight because I don't want to mess up the filler pads, make it look like a tacky old piece of junk. That don't want the pretty little chrome screws messed up. I sure don't. I wouldn't want to buy one. I could see the screws is all messed up. Someone's been fiddling around with it, like I've been fiddling around with this, and hopefully I've made some good improvements in this, and this inboard neck here. This is the inboard neck, outboard neck. Inboard neck will sound better. I'll put new strings on it and we'll try it out. Drive it around the block a couple times, see how she operates. Now, all I got to do is I put the blending pot wheel. As you can see, the wheel here is what blends the two together. Put the blending wheel on there, put it on there, put a string on there, and start her up, drive her around the block and see how she sounds. I'm all finished now, and I'm going to test it. How I tested it, so I put an E string on there, small top string, and plug it into my amplifier, put it in gear. Sounds good. Now, gotta remember it was the blender, and the blender was this right here. Now, it's running on one pickup now, and then as I turn it, blends into two pickups, like this one up here. A little noisy. That's one pickup, and it gets the vibration of both pickups. Gives it more vibration, picks up better the vibrations of the strings. So now I've got a new pot on there, should last the life of the guitar. If that pot's the original pot, this is 1957, it's been used a lot. And the pot is also twisted around, it's turned around, adjusted a lot by guitar players to get the sound they want. Okay, unplug the amplifier and turn off the amplifier and put up the tools. Clean up the guitar, clean up my mess, and I'm finished. Ready to string it, put strings on it. Okay, now I've done major surgery on the guitar, put new pots in and everything. So this is my foot volume control, and I had to do a little cleaning up of the slide pot. This is the slide switch in here. It slides back and forth so I can have foot control of volume, and that's important on many different songs that I get. So I've already sprayed this slide switch, cleaned it out. It gets static sounding after a while, and ready to put the foot piece back on. And once the foot piece is back on, then I can go test it. So that'll be about it. Putting the strings on. I haven't done that yet, but I'll be putting the strings on after I get this and test this and see if this is working okay. Back in here with my major surgery guitar, and the first thing I'm going to do is hook in the amp cord. The amp cord, of course, goes into the output, and then I have my guitar cord where it hooks the guitar into the foot volume control, and then once I turn the amplifier on and test it, let's see, yeah, seems to work pretty good and seems to slide back and forth. Doing pretty good, and what that can give you some effects that you want that makes the songs sound a little prettier. It takes the picking, the hard pick out of it. And what's a hard pick? That's a hard pick. This is more of a soft pick. What I'm looking for is scratchiness. When I do the pedal, when the switch, it needs to be maintained. Some maintenance needs to be done. It gets scratchy sound and it sounds like static in it. Sounds good. Okay, I'm ready to string it, and I'm going to put Deodero strings on. These strings actually were given to me at our Texas Steel Guitar Association meeting here in March, and by the dealer. And one of the dealers had a stand set up, and he gave us these strings. These strings are actually for pedal steel, but I put them on here because it gets at a deeper tune. And if the guitar is, everything's working right, pot's in good shape, and the pickups and everything, it gives it actually a better sound. It don't sound like a tinny old lap steel sometimes sounds with strings a little too small. It doesn't give it more of a baritone sound. So I'm going to go ahead and string it, and then we'll see what it sounds like once it's strung up. Now these strings will stretch for, seem like forever, but eventually they'll get stretched out and won't have to be tuning it. Now this neck here, this is my outboard neck. I tuned it to C6, and I noticed while I was repairing this neck here, working on this, I must have got this out tuned because while I was testing it, it didn't sound too hot. So it's stringing time. I'm all finished. I've got it strung. I've checked it out, tightened the strings up, cut them off, and it doesn't sound too bad. Okay, it's all ready to go, do the show.
Take the ribbon from your hair, shake it loose and let it fall, laying soft upon my skin like the shadows on the wall.